And here is the Writer's Almanac for Sunday. It's the 24th of April, 2022. It's the birthday of the mystery novelist Sue Grafton, born Louisville, 1940. Went to the University of Louisville. Thought about becoming a lawyer, but her father was an attorney. He told her not to go to law school. It was too boring. She got married at the age of 18, divorced, married again a few years later, started her career writing screenplays until her agent told her that she was good at writing character but not at plot, so she decided to focus all her energy on writing plots. And writing mystery novels seemed like a good way to do that. One day she was reading through Edward Gorey's illustrated book, The Gashly Crumb Tinies, about children dying in bizarre ways, which begins A is for Amy, who fell down the stairs, B is for Basil, assaulted by bears. And Grafton decided this would be her hook. And in 1982, she published A is for Alibi. It was followed by B is for Burglar, C is for Corpse, D is for Deadbeat, and on down the line. The novels starring a private eye named Kinsey Milhone, who loves fast food, always carries a gun, and distrusts intimate relationships. It's the birthday of Robert Penn Warren, born in Guthrie, Kentucky, 1905, whose grandfather had a tobacco farm where the boy spent his summers. The grandfather loved books, liked to quote poetry while he tended his garden, liked to sit with his grandson under a cedar tree and tell stories of fighting in the Confederate Army, and he drew pictures of the battles in the dirt. Robert Penn Warren went off to Vanderbilt, where his roommate was the poet Allen Tate. Warren graduated, took a teaching job at Louisiana State in Baton Rouge, and a year later Governor Huey Long was assassinated there at the Capitol. Warren wrote a play in verse about a corrupt and charismatic governor, and then he made the play into a novel. All the King's Men came out in 1946, was a big bestseller, won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction. Warren said it was not about politics. He said that his main character, Willie Stark, a governor who was assassinated, was not meant to be Huey Long, but practically everyone else assumed that it was. And it's the anniversary of the Easter Uprising, Dublin, 1916, many of whose leaders were poets and teachers and men of letters. It was poorly planned and didn't have much support. It failed. The leaders were executed. But 5 years later, the Republic of Ireland achieved independence. Here's a poem for today by James Laughlin, entitled, O Best of All Nights, Return and Return Again. How she let her long hair down over her shoulders, making a love cave around her face. Return and return again. How, when the lamplight was lowered, she pressed against him, twining her fingers in his. Return and return again. How their legs swam together like dolphins, and their toes played like little toonies. Return and return again. How she sat beside him, cross-legged, telling him stories of her childhood. Return and return again. How she closed her eyes when his were open. How they breathed together, breathing each other. Return and return again. How they fell into slumber, their bodies curled together like two spoons. Return and return again. How they went together to otherwhere, the fairest land they had ever seen. Return and return again. O best of all nights, return and return again. A poem by James Laughlin, O Best of All Nights, Return and Return Again, from Poems New and Selected, published by New Directions and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.